Longwood, home to many traditions, groups, and academic divisions, yet through all this separation, there is one matron saint who unifies us, Joan of Arc.
Despite being French, we really have adopted Joan of Arc as one of our own, especially since Longwood has its roots in an all-girl teaching school. It's fitting that we chose a saint who embodies both femininity and strength. Joan of Arc is well known here at Longwood, but what few people may realize is that she's a major part of LGBTQ+ history.
A little-known historical consideration is that Joan of Arc's abstinence from sex with men was well documented, which has caused some speculation that she may have been a lesbian.
What we do know for a fact is that Joan of Arc cross-dressed and said it was the will of God that she did so, which makes her a part of queer history. In this quote from Joan of Arc herself, she says, "For nothing in the world will I swear not to arm myself and put on a man's dress. I must obey the orders of our Lord."
Without a doubt, Joan of Arc is an inspiration to all of us at Longwood, for many reasons. We even have 3 statues to prove our dedication to preserving her spirit, starting with the one right here.
Hi, I'm Amber Schmidt. I'm a freshman here at Longwood, and I was fascinated when I found out our patron was Joan of Arc, who's one of my favorite female heroines, because I just love how she was multidimensional, started out with a very, low start, I can't think of the word, but then she became a great French heroine, and fun fact, she was accused of witchcraft at one point, which I just find fascinating, and I love all the little bits of Joan of Arc, all over Longwood's campus.
Our next Joan of Arc statue is right here, showcasing her power, control, and her horse as well. Students here at Longwood fondly refer to her as Joan Young Pony. A well-known story to Longwood students and staff is that in 2001, when Ruffner Hall was on fire and the flames were spreading everywhere, including towards the colonnades and this Joan of Arc statue, she remained untouched. To many of us here at Longwood, this was a testament to her power.
Oh, didn't see you there. Did you want to go see the final Joan with us? Come on.
This Joan of Arc statue truly is much different than the others in terms of her depiction as a warrior rather than a young woman in the traditional sense.
She really is. This depiction of her really highlights her impact. For Matthew McWilliams again, she has, in fact, stood as a symbol for opposing forces throughout the last 600 years, sometimes simultaneously. French nationalism, French defeatism, the Catholic Church, opposition to the Church, patriotism, emancipation, audacity, largesse, the far political right, women's liberation, biblical literalism, LGBTQ+ rights.
That's a really interesting perspective. It's true that while Joan of Arc is mostly seen as a feminist symbol, she stood for so much more than that. Unfortunately, like most other women who defied men at the time, she was burned at the stake. This was in part due to her cross-dressing because of a vision where angels told her to cut her hair, put on men's clothing, and go to war between the ages of 18 and 19, the same age as most of our students here at Longwood. Joan of Arc was tragically burned for heresy on May 30th, 1431.
May 30th? We should have a Joan of Arc Day then. We can celebrate her tenacity and spirit that drives Longwood. But I wonder, do other people have the same historical knowledge to view her as a queer icon like we do?
I think after all that, I can say with pride that Joan of Arc was a queer icon, and I'm going to continue to revere her as such.
Me too. I think it should be discussed more. She's all over campus, and yet she might not get talked about in terms of her role in the LGBTQ+ community or queer history.
Well, now we transfer that responsibility to anyone watching this.
Yes, if you're curious, the research is out there, and history always can be and always should be re-examined. Keep questioning what you think you know, and keep learning.